the crucifixion of Jesus, the truth hidden from history. For centuries, the world has been told that Jesus was crucified. But when we analyze the historical evidence, a very different picture begins to emerge. The Quran provides a striking statement in Surah An-Nisa 4, 157. And for their saying, indeed, we have killed the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. And they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but it was made to appear so to them. This verse challenges the Christian narrative of the crucifixion. But as we dig into the facts, historical records, and inconsistencies, it becomes clear that the Quranic account is more consistent with the available evidence. So why is the crucifixion story so widely accepted? And what really happened to Jesus? Why Jesus was not crucified? The evidence? Lack of contemporary historical records. One of the strongest reasons to question the crucifixion is the lack of contemporary historical evidence. If Jesus' crucifixion was a monumental event witnessed by thousands and conducted by the Roman authorities, why is there no solid documentation from the time to support it? Roman historians like Tacitus, who wrote decades after the event, mentioned Christians and their belief in Jesus' death, but did not record the actual event of crucifixion. Flavius Josephus, the Jewish historian, does reference Jesus, but scholars agree that his mention of the crucifixion was likely tampered with by later Christian scribes to align with the Christian narrative. The absence of Roman records detailing the trial, execution, or even the presence of Jesus at the cross speaks volumes. The Romans were known for documenting executions of individuals considered significant, yet there is no record of such an event involving Jesus. If the crucifixion were a real public event involving the Roman state, the lack of official records is a striking anomaly that makes the traditional story more questionable. Contradictions in the Gospel accounts. The Gospels in the New Testament, considered the primary sources for the crucifixion narrative, contain several contradictions that further raise doubts. Who carried the cross? Matthew 27:32 tells us that Simon of Cyrene carried Jesus' cross. However, John 19:17 claims that Jesus himself carried his own cross. What were Jesus' final words? In Matthew the 27:46, Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In Luke 23:46, his final words are, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." In John 19:30, Jesus declares, "It is finished." These contradictions raise a crucial question. If the crucifixion was a real, historically verifiable event, why do the Gospels, written by different authors, contradict each other on basic details? This suggests that the event itself may have been less certain than often portrayed. The Quran's statement that it was made to appear so to them aligns with these inconsistencies, as the story seems to have been altered or misunderstood over time. The historical and theological motivation for the crucifixion story. The story of Jesus' crucifixion does not only emerge from historical events, but also from theological motivations. Christianity spread under the Roman Empire, and as it grew, it merged with existing pagan traditions. Roman gods like Mithras and Osiris had myths of a dying and rising god. The idea of a divine figure being sacrificed for the sins of humanity was already a part of Roman religious thought. As Christianity spread, the Romans sought to make Jesus' narrative fit into the mold of their existing religious ideas. The concept of atonement through crucifixion became central to Christian doctrine, shaped more by political necessity and theological convenience than by historical truth. The 25th of December, now celebrated as Jesus' birthday, was originally the festival of Sol Invictus, a pagan god. This incorporation of a pagan holiday into Christian tradition further demonstrates the blending of Christianity with Roman religious beliefs. It is clear that the crucifixion story was altered to fit into the Roman Empire's political and religious framework, pushing the idea of a divine sacrifice and atonement for sins, concepts that already existed in the Roman world. Jesus was taken up to heaven, the evidence. The Quran is clear that Jesus was raised to Allah and not crucified. Surah An-Nisa 4, 158 states, "Rather, Allah raised him to himself." This statement explains that Jesus was protected by God, and was taken up in a manner that reflects divine protection and preservation. The Quran presents this as part of God's plan to protect his messengers from harm or humiliation, ensuring that they fulfill their divine roles without facing wrongful death. One thing is certain: the doubt surrounding Jesus' fate. Given the lack of historical evidence, the contradictions within the Gospels, and the political motivations of the Roman Empire to shape the narrative, one thing is certain: there is substantial doubt about the crucifixion of Jesus. The traditional story does not hold up to scrutiny when we examine the evidence available. The absence of contemporary records from Roman authorities, the inconsistencies in the biblical narrative, and the historical context of early Christianity point to the conclusion that Jesus was never crucified. Instead, he was taken up by God, as the Quran and Islamic traditions state. Theories surrounding what actually happened to Jesus, including ideas that he might have traveled to other lands or continued his ministry elsewhere, remain speculative and uncertain. However, what is clear from the historical evidence and Islamic teachings is that Jesus was not crucified, and his fate remains a mystery to many due to a lack of verifiable facts. The Quran's account provides clarity and truth. They did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but it was made to appear so to them. The story of Jesus' crucifixion is based on weak foundations when viewed through the lens of historical evidence. The contradictions, the lack of contemporary records, and the political and theological motivations behind the narrative all point to the fact that Jesus was not crucified. Instead, the Quran provides the simplest and most coherent explanation: Jesus was taken up by Allah. This truth, long hidden under layers of myth and political influence, is clear for those willing to see it. Islam provides a clear and coherent understanding of history, humanity, and our purpose in life. It invites everyone to reflect, question, and seek answers that align with both logic and faith. If you feel inspired to learn more about Islam and uncover the deeper truths behind its teachings, we encourage you to keep searching and discovering. Subscribe for more insights and continue your path to knowledge. Until next time, may you find peace in your quest for understanding.